To start the process, you're going to get a trim tool and pop this piece out. And then for this piece, you're going to need 2 flat heads and pinch the piece together in the middle there. I can't show you on the video because it needs 2 hands, but it's pretty easy. Once you get that out, the visor just pops right out with that little hook, and then you just push that tab in and unplug it. For the other piece, you're going to need to unscrew it. It has a star pattern, so make sure you note that. After you unscrew it, it'll just pop right out. For the lights, grab your trim tool and just pry it open. Once you get enough of a gap, then you can fit your fingers in and then just pull it. Don't be afraid to give it a firm tug, it'll come out. This piece is held only with clips, so you're gonna have to pull hard. Once you pull it out, then you can unplug these cords here. The one in the back is not noticeable, but make sure you get that one. For the columns in the back, grab your trim piece again, wedge it in, and then fit your fingers in and just yank it. This piece is only held in clips. You don't need to take the whole thing off, just enough room to make sure there's a gap to take the headliner out. For the front pillars, I just wedged my fingers in and yanked it. Didn't even need the trim tool for that piece. If you want to take it completely off to give yourself more space to work with, just take that piece out. Moving on to the seatbelt column, just wedge your fingers in there and take that cover off there. Then take a small flat head and open that flap out. Unscrew this bolt, notice again the star pattern, and then you're good to pull the headliner out. Make sure you go slow so you don't bend and wrinkle it too much. Once you get the headliner out, find a nice open area to put it down. I use my garage. And this headliner has these pieces which were super glued there. Some might have foam, you can take the foam off too. And this is suggested to give yourself more space to put the stars where these would be. And even though these are for support, don't worry about losing that support. It's going to get replaced with the fiber optic cables. With those pieces gone, it should look something like this. I did leave the ones up top where the mirrors go because you can't really put stars there anyways. And then you're ready to map out the shooting stars. If you don't have shooting stars with your kit, just skip this part. It's important to use a ruler to make sure the stars are straight. I do mine 6 inches long. And then to give the best natural effect, make them random. Try not to make any of them parallel to each other. Just kind of make them go in different ways as you see here. And I have a kit with 200 shooting stars, so I use 20 stars per shooting star effect, so that gives me 10 to draw. And this is the most important part when you draw your stars, so pay attention. At the beginning of the shooting star, make sure you space them very close together, and then as the distance gets farther along, that's where you start spacing them farther in between. This is going to give you that meteor effect. If you space them equally from each star, it's going to look like a random straight line, but this actually makes it look like it's shooting across the sky. Then just go back and number them, 1 being the start of the effect and 10 being where it ends. Since I'm doing 20 stars for each shooting star, I did a half tick mark in between each number as well. To make each hole, a lot of people use a drill bit, and if you want to, you can. For me, I prefer to use a thumbtack because I think it goes by a little bit quicker. And if your headliner is starting to bend like this, just throw a stool or something small underneath to support it. Try to make your holes as close to the center of each dot as well. It's important to make sure you turn on your device and make sure you see where the pattern starts and ends. For this one, it's counterclockwise, starting with that first strand and then wrapping around to the end on the other side. When placing your stars in, make sure you go in order from 1 through 10. I do all the number 1s first and then all the number 2s and then so on and so forth. To make sure it doesn't get too messy, make sure you pull all the excess so there's not much slack. You want to have a little bit so you can have a little bit of flexibility where you put the light box, but don't give it too much slack. And then when you're done with the shooting stars, use some electrical tape to clean up the wiring. It should look something similar to this. Yours is obviously going to be different with a different pattern, but I always start with the shooting stars because you have to number them, and then you can move on to the general static stars after that. And note again, the pattern as it goes farther, it gets increased distance in between. Now, after you do your static stars, it'll probably be super messy like this. Don't worry, just clean it up with electrical tape. And then it should look something similar to this where the interior lights are out of the way, so when you put it back there's no problems, and the edges don't have any cables hanging over as well. Don't worry if it looks super bushy like this, it'll all get pushed down when you put it back in. And then I like to leave a couple extra strands at the end, so if you want to fill a couple gaps in afterwards you can, or if some come out you can replace it. Now when it comes to hot gluing, you should probably wear gloves. The last time I didn't, and I burned myself, so that was not fun. Definitely wear some protective gloves when you hot glue. And this part is very important. When you do your hot gluing, make sure the entire base is covered just like that one. Don't do one side and then the other side. Do a 3-point system like this. And that's going to ensure it doesn't come out when you do a pull test later. After you're done hot gluing it, just do a quick check, make sure you didn't miss any spots. You can give the strands a pull to make sure they're all secure. And for the shooting stars, I just did a straight line of hot glue. That makes it a lot easier. Now for the best part, clipping each strand. I use a nail clipper. Some people use just like regular wire cutters. Either way works. For the nail clipper, for me, this is just a little bit faster and easier to do. Make sure you just trim it to where it's flush with the headliner. Don't like press into the headliner and clip it. Otherwise, it's not going to show as well. And then it should look something just like this. Make sure you do every single area like you see up by the visors. I did that. Over by the interior lights, I did that little area as well. The little details really matter. Now this kit is 750 stars, 550 being static, 200 being shooting stars, and this took about 11 hours. So 500 stars should take you anywhere from 8 to 10 hours to do, 750 stars should take you 10 to 12 hours, and 1,000 should take you anywhere from 12 to 14. So make sure you plan accordingly. Thank you so much for watching.